It's Robyn, aka Styles and Seams, and I'm really excited to share with you my entire spring and summer wardrobe. That's right, everything that I made for myself in 2020 during these warm months, which were also the entire time that I have been more or less in quarantine lockdown in Brooklyn, New York, with a little bit of a trip to Martha's Vineyard for a month and a half. So here it is. So I am going to talk you through each of the pieces that I made and also pop in some clips of me modeling each outfit. Everything that you're seeing me wear, I handmade myself. I think that there's no inclusions of anything that I didn't make this spring and summer, but I may stand corrected. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the like button to help me keep growing this channel. I appreciate all of your support. This wardrobe represents some really dark days with COVID-19 going about. Being here in Brooklyn, New York, things got very frightening very quickly. Very quickly I realized that I needed a creative outlet in order to keep my sanity. The most difficult part about quarantine for me is just the lack of social contact. I am very much an extroverted person, and so I had to create ways to still have some type of social contact even though I really wasn't leaving my Brooklyn apartment. And so this jumpsuit actually represents my first creative outlet for COVID-19 times, and I made this based on an image that I saw. I think it was Rachel Comey jumpsuit, and I used New Look 6509 in order to basically do this shape, but I thought that the original pattern for the New Look jumpsuit was a little too folksy with the button, so I changed it to these D-ring details and did it with these long swinging straps. So I have a little bit of fun wearing the jumpsuit, and it's such an easy wear. It's so comfortable in this rayon linen blend that I just want to wear it all the time. And it's also like really chic. It has the cutouts on the sides, and so I've worn it in the few times that I have been able to go outside to, for example, a date night, and I've gotten tons of compliments on it so far. So this is New Look 6509. It's a jumpsuit. It's in black viscose, and I look forward to making even more because I just love it. I'll show off another black me made next, and this is this Butterick B6655 dress that I made in this beautiful cotton twill from Chic Fabrics. I got this fabric in fall of last year, and I did want to go ahead and make the dress then, but it really wasn't appropriate for fall or winter, so I held on to it. And I'm really glad that I did, because even in just a few months I've gotten so much better with some of the fitting and styling details. And this dress involved me doing lots and lots of top stitching, and I decided to do this rainbow bright kind of top stitching, bringing out some of the bright fun colors that are in the embroidered dots. And you can see that I have a blue row and sort of a chartreuse green row, and then I also did some fun detail with the buttons. I have green and white buttons, and I've skipped every third button. This was sort of a spur of the moment decision. I had a third color which was kind of a tan, and I just didn't like that, so I decided to skip every third button. Do what you want when you sew your own clothes, and it gave it a really fun look. This dress looks amazing on, if I do say so myself. It fits really well. I did make a full muslin for this before completing the dress. And another thing that was important when I was making this dress is that this button placket is actually non-functional. So I was thinking about doing no zipper in the back and doing a functional button placket, but it just didn't seem like it was going to be worthwhile. I'm really happy with what I came up with in designing and creating this dress. I've gotten to wear it a couple of times. It's just really going to serve well in my wardrobe for many years to come. Next up, my Marina Mccall's dress. If you've been following me on Instagram, or maybe you started following me because of this, I got to do a week-long Instagram takeover for the Mccall Pattern Company. It worked out really well. I had gotten to meet Meg, who works at Mccall's, and she invited me to take over the Instagram feed for a week. And so I spent the entire week doing tips and tricks of how to recreate this dress. I started with some design inspiration and then worked my way through the pattern adjustments that I needed to make to fit my 6'2" tall frame, and also some tips and tricks to get the plaid working correctly since it isn't such a big plaid. And I'm not going to take credit for it, but I was making nap dresses before nap dresses were a trend when I made this dress. It's meant to be quite oversized and floofy. I actually had decided to size down from a large, which I kind of always fall between like a medium and a large depending upon which measurement I use, and I decided to just go with the medium because it just seemed to be too oversized. But now that I'm seeing like all these glorious snap dresses, I wish that I had gone full out and done the size large for a bit more fullness. So that's something that I'll remember when I make this next time. But overall, it was a very easy sew, and I'm so excited that I got to share it with so many people on Instagram and work the way through the process with it. All right, next up, my Apricot dress. No hanger for this one because do not store your jersey fabrics on a hanger, especially when they're long midi or maxi dresses, because it'll weigh down and stretch out the shape. But I'm so excited that I finally got to use this beautiful print. It has peaches, or I like to say apricots, on this nice khaki green background. I've been hoarding this fabric because it's like the perfect mashup of my blog. So I have Runaway Apricot, my cooking blog, and then I have Styles and Seams, the sewing blog, and I've always wanted to do something with sewing that has a tie-in to cooking. So this is my Runaway Apricot dress. It is the most comfortable dress in my wardrobe. It's this beautiful stretchy jersey. I'm very happy to have it in my wardrobe. It's carrying me well into fall. I can wear it with boots or layer it under jackets. Just have a really like elegant dress that's also super casual and comfortable. Staying in the khaki family, here's my beautiful tropical shirt dress. I made this Mccall's M8030 using a cotton sateen that I'd gotten a couple years prior from Chic Fabrics in New York City. And I was originally thinking of using this fabric for a jumpsuit because it's got a good bottom weight, good amount of thickness, good amount of opacity. But ultimately I decided that that might be, like, I don't know what season I would wear that in because I like to show my legs a lot in the summer, and in the fall it's just a little bit too tropical for wearing around New York City. So I made this beautiful dress that really feels like it's a tiki party. It's got a full button-down front, and I use these fun square buttons with it. It also has a belt, and I was able to use this little buckle that I'd gotten from Fab Scrap, and it's really, really comfortable. It was an easy sew, more or less, and it definitely put me to work with doing buttonholes. The only complaint that I have about this dress is that I totally overcompensated with the pocket placement, and they're super, super low. But again, this is a great sew, and I've worn it plenty this summer, and because, again, nice cotton fabric, I made matching masks to go with it and got tons of compliments when I wore them together. Sticking with the brights, this next outfit is an Encara jumpsuit that I made with this beautiful teal colored Encara with this crocodile print on it. It is another New Look 6509 for the bottom, and then I used a Mccall's pattern, which I'll pop in here, for the bodice. What I really like about this jumpsuit is that it has more or less an open back with this tie detail, but it still does cover my bra in the back. It's just this beautiful, fun print that really gets me excited. Another thing that I was really happy to be able to do during these COVID times is make a face mask that matches this because the cotton fabric was just perfect. And so I have worn the whole ensemble together a couple of times. I've gotten tons of compliments. It's like 2020 chic. I spent the months of June and July in Martha's Vineyard taking care of my aunt who was in hospice, and so I got a little bit of time to sew during that period while I was being a full-time caretaker, and this is the one thing that I was able to make. It got me really excited to be able to show her the different stages of my making process because she's always been such a big fan of my sewing. Even get to show her the finished garment when I was done. I really love this jumpsuit, but I'll say that the one thing that I really regret having done is I didn't make a muslin of the bodice, and I totally forgot to do my common adjustment that I have to make with Mccall's patterns. I'm a D cup, and I usually have to do somewhat of a full bust adjustment by taking out a 1/2 inch at the upper bust, and I forgot to do that. So this jumpsuit has a little bit of extra room right above the upper bust, and I'm not sure if I want to go in and dart that out or not, or I could just leave it as it is and just get over it, which I've done so far. So in the colorful family, I have a couple of more. This fabric that I use was actually the last fabric purchase that I made before the lockdown happened. I got this beautiful swirly fabric from Chic Fabrics in the Garment District, and I got this red pleather right across the street at, I think it's Fabrics World USA. I will pop it in the description. Or actually, no, I have all the details on my blog, so please go check my blog if you want any of the fit, finishing, fit, and modification details on any of these clothes. I have links below in the description so that you can get all of those details. These were both made with some patterns that I've used a few times. They're starting to become tried and true patterns. These shorts are made with Mccall's M7726. And I thought it was really important for me to use a pattern that I was very familiar with when making something out of a completely new to me fabric. I'd never worked with pleather before or stretch pleather. I have lots of details on my blog about how I was able to accomplish these shorts. I'm really looking forward to wearing these well into fall because they would look super cute with boots or tights or anything else that I want to put with it. And then this shirt is a variation on the woven tee that I sort of pattern drafted based on one of my favorite tees. And I gave this one these fun puff sleeves, which were just a little modification on my pattern. So I'm really excited that I got to use this swirly print in something that's very simple, that doesn't take away from the print of the fabric, and create a shirt that I love to wear. Sticking with the reds, this top that I made, which is actually the same top as the jumpsuit that I'm wearing. So it's based on the New Look jumpsuit, New Look 6509. I hacked it by adding this button placket to the side. I measured it out and did the maths and all the pattern drafting to put a button placket on here because I wanted a closure, and sometimes the separating zippers can be a little expensive. So I've had this pretty cheap crepe in my fabric since I first began sewing, and I made this skirt a couple of years ago. It is a Mimi G tutorial pattern for a wrap skirt. I had the toughest time creating that originally. I had kind of followed the instruction and put the darts where she suggested, but everyone's shape is different, and so I stuck with it and moved all the darts over, and I really enjoy wearing that skirt. It looks super sexy when I'm sitting down because the split's super high and it goes open wide. But it's a really fun skirt to wear through the summer months, and I'm happy that I have this top to go with it now to make a full outfit. So this next outfit is evidence that if you give a girl 6 yards of fabric, she will do the absolute most with it. That's exactly what I've done with this Encara. I originally used it to make this M7606 skirt a couple of years ago, and I have worn this skirt very frequently because it's super comfortable and it's super bright and fun, and the shape is just perfect for me. And then earlier in the spring, I made this woven t-shirt using the remnants that I had of that fabric. I again used the same pattern that I drafted based on one of my favorite shirts. And then, you know, I pushed a little bit further because I had some fabric left, and I made this head wrap. And it's the first head wrap that I've ever made, which I can't believe because I've always wanted to wear and own head wraps. And what I did for this is actually use a somewhat of a French seam. It's kind of, it's more like flat felt, I guess, to join a couple of pieces that were too short together in order to have the wide length for this. And I have been creative with this just rectangle of fabric, and I have been able to wear it also as a little bustier. So definitely wearing a bra, so there's no problem with it maybe slipping down and show my goods, but it was fun to wear this like on a date night as a top with the skirt. It's really great coverage in the back and in the front because the skirt is high-waisted. It covers up all the important parts and there's not too much skin showing. So this makes for a very versatile outfit, and also I was able to get some really beautiful pictures, if I do say so myself, wearing this during May, because during the month of May, I again was using Me Made May and showing off my whole wardrobe. This was one of the things that I made to show off. Up next is this beautiful wavy blue linen shirt that I made using Jolly Patterns Florence pattern. I love this shirt. It's one of the casual things that's like so nice to throw on. I could throw it on over a t-shirt or over a tank top. I can wear it with jeans, I can wear it with shorts, I can wear it with skirts. It's like universal. The wavy linen fabric came from Rainbow Fabrics when I lived in London. It's in Kilburn. That was actually my neighborhood fabric store when I lived in London. I bought this print when I had no business buying fabric before I was leaving London, but it's this beautiful linen. I realized actually this is my first button front shirt or button up shirt that I've ever made. I have made button up shirt dresses, but I definitely need to be making more shirts like this for my wardrobe because they're just so versatile. And now that I'm no longer afraid of sewing buttons, it makes so much sense to do. I will say I love the buttons that I use on these. They're plastic, but they have the look of like a shell or a natural button. So this is a Jolly Patterns Florence shirt. It's pretty oversized. I have all the fit details on my blog, so see the link in my description. But yeah, really fun shirt to have and to wear. Talking about crop tops and bustiers, this is my beautiful, beautiful bustier with Mccall's M7937, I think. I have made this now a few times because I just fell in love with the shape once I got it to fit me. So this is actually made out of the remnants of a few different napkins that I had in my stash, plus a little bit of lining fabric. It comes together as this really fun print, really fun mixed print top that just is screaming summer picnic, right? Because it's like literally cotton napkins. I've had fun wearing this with different white skirts that I have, and then of course bringing it into a little bit cooler months with these lavender M7726 crop pants that I made. If you're looking for a bustier pattern, look no further. I have made this a few times and you're gonna keep seeing it again. I told you you would see more of the M7937 bustier, and I am here to deliver. So here is my black linen tie front bustier that I made with the pattern, and you can see me modeling it here with some Simplicity pants that I made, some trousers. I got this black linen back when I was living in London. Again, it was kind of a crazy deal. I took full advantage and I bought like 5 or 6 yards of the fabric, and I've now made these trousers and this top for like the beautiful modern set of your dreams, and I have more left to maybe make something else. I'm thinking like a little mini skirt or something, but that's gonna have to wait until it gets warm again because there's no sense in making linen for the fall, even though that's what I'm sewing right now. Stay tuned for my fall video. I absolutely love this set. I love all of the pictures that I created while I was photographing this set, so definitely go to my blog to check all of those out. It's such a mood. It's such a like 2020 drama, the suit, the like style, the like New York City girl look that I'm very excited about. Now, I could not make this video without acknowledging the many carry purses that I made this summer. I launched this first sewing pattern and I made several different variations of this purse, including this cheetah one that I made with remnants of this dress that I made last year, and it's just like the cutest thing, and I'm so excited to have so many handmade purses to take with me into the next seasons, because of course purses have no season. Well, most of them have no season. The other beautiful thing about this is that I always love going every day wearing something that I've made, and this gives me the opportunity to do that every single day. So even if I just want to throw on some like jeans and a grubby t-shirt from my closet, I can still do it with something handmade. Last up, because it eventually stopped being summer, is this beautiful full skirted dress that I made for a wedding that I attended in September. Now I have a whole video describing exactly this dress and my motivation for making it, even like a free calculator for how to make it for yourself. So check my other video. I will drop it in the description and then drop a little card for it here. But this dress is a dream. It was like the perfect way to cap off a summer that was at once kind of tragic, but then still had its moments of like love and glamour and happiness. So yeah, perfect cap to the end of the summer to have this beautiful, beautiful dress. So there you have my Me Made fashion show for 2020, spring and summer. All of these looks were made during lockdown, during COVID-19, and it's been a real joy to be able to create something and add this value to my life when I can't go out and, you know, enjoy the company of others. So it's been really great to create all of these, and then also to be able to share them with the community. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, please do that. I do share a lot of the creating process as I'm going about making things on Instagram. So follow my stories and help participate in my polls when I can't decide which buttons to use or which thread color I want to use for top stitching. As I was planning out these makes, I wasn't really thinking of it as a cohesive wardrobe, something that would work as a capsule or I could wear everything together. And you'll notice that I have sewn a few different jumpsuits and a few different dresses, so those are kind of all in one pieces. So I haven't really thought about mixing and matching them too much, but they do kind of stick into where my brand is, or my personal brand, and usually that is colorful, printed, or just designer and decorative elements that are pretty unique. Like this jumpsuit, for example, is all black, but it does have some decorative details here in the straps and then the side cutout, so it gives it a little bit of a unique perspective. I'm always trying to sew things that are going to push my creative skills, push my sewing skills, and have me doing something that I hadn't done before. And also that are going to just push my wardrobe overall to being more designer and look more unique and look more expensive. I don't sew so that I can copy fashions that, you know, maybe on the racks at Forever 21, but I do try to sew things that reach towards a more elevated look overall. Someone asked me on Instagram if any of my makes weren't worth the time that it took to create, and honestly, no. Like, I probably invested a lot of time into making some of these pieces, but I truly, truly enjoyed both the process, because sometimes it just gives you something to do. It's a release of energy. It's you using your creative talent. So sometimes clothes that I make will have value to me just for that process and being able to share them and have conversations around them. And then secondly, I actually like everything that I made. I don't think that I made anything, or at least I didn't make anything to completion that I don't like, but there were a few things that I like played around with and didn't turn into a finished garment. But otherwise, I really enjoy everything that I've sewed this season, and it gives me a lot of joy that I pushed so many of my skills and can really create on a higher level in each of the seasons to come. My handmade wardrobe is really taking over my closet and over my drawers, which is a really great thing because I haven't purchased any clothes except for like a souvenir once or twice since the start of 2019. So it's been a couple of seasons, especially a couple of different warm years, where I haven't added anything that I haven't made new. So it's important for me to think about creating diverse pieces that I'm going to need in my wardrobe. I will say if I do have a gap in my wardrobe right now, I need more casual pieces. My style and my sewing tends to be a little bit more elevated, which is great, except when I want to bum around and walk down to the corner store and I just want to have a t-shirt on. So if I had any regrets about my wardrobe and my sewing for the season, it's that I didn't take time to think more practically about what casual pieces I need as a part of my wardrobe. And now that I can see the entire summer of makes together, I know that I want to create a few more t-shirts, kind of, some tank tops, some simple things to wear that I can really just throw on as basics to wear with some of my more elevated pieces. That's it. That's my me-made wardrobe for spring and summer 2020, these years, months, days, eons of COVID times. I really hope that you've enjoyed this look into my handmade wardrobe. I have to say I am super impressed with all that I was able to create during these last couple of months and really finish with like the degree of professionalism and perfection that I really want to hold myself to as a standard. It gives me a lot of hope for all of my sewing in the days, weeks, months to come. If you're interested in more pictures, more details, and including how I altered these commercial patterns to get them to fit my body, please check out my description box below and go to my blog, stylesinseams.com. For pretty much everything that I've posted, I have a separate blog post with really intense details of how I get it to fit my tall frame. And I really do that as a service because I want to encourage more tall women to be able to sew and really take control over their wardrobe when there's very few options out there in the marketplace for us to buy for our bodies. Thank you again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more to come. I have a lot planned for the months upcoming and a lot of sewing that I'm excited to do for fall and winter. So please like this. If you like this video, please comment. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them. Please subscribe to see more, and I hope to see you back here again. Stay creative, my friends. Yeah.